Please stand as we pray. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, God. We thank you for life. We thank you for health. We thank you for strength. God, and for allowing us, God, to be here for this very special occasion today. We thank you for our company, the Cable, the government, our board of directors, our executives, our CEO, our staff, our consultants. God, we thank you for everyone that has played a role in bringing us where we are today, God. We recognize, God, that this is just a stepping stone towards greater things to come for the Cable, dear God. We pray, God, that today's proceedings may go well. We pray, God, that you may cover us, you may bless us. And now we welcome you in our presence. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. I was about to say, let the church say amen, but I can't because this is not church. Honorable Vincent Byron Jr., Minister of Telecommunications, Chairman and members of the Board of Directors of the Cable, Ms. Patricia Walters, Chief Executive Officer of the Cable, members of the management team of the Cable, other distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning and welcome to the Cable's media launch event. I know when I contacted the media, a few of you asked me what it was, but I was not at liberty then to divulge information that could have been or was then sensitive. And so I want to thank you nonetheless for responding to what was in part a mystery until now. And we're happy that you took the time to share at least an hour and a half of your day with us. And we are relying very heavily on you as the media to share our good news stories. And so we want to, in particular, thank you for responding to the invitation. My name is Laverne Keynes, and I shall be the event chair this morning to take you through the proceedings, which from all intents and purposes would be very short but impactful. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for the good news which would be shared not too long from now. I would move straight into the very first presenter, the chairman of the board of directors, my old neighbor, Mr. Othniel Heiliger. And he would, and when I said all, I don't mean chronological in age. I need to make that clear. And so he would present some remarks on behalf of the board of directors. So could we kindly welcome Mr. Heiliger to the lectern?
Good morning. Thank you, Laverne. Not because you see me walk from my seat to the podium in that manner. It's not that I'm really that old. I have an injury. Just wanted to make it clear. And before I get into my little or brief remarks, I would like to ask each and every one to stand in recognition of one of our founding members and a director up until his death, Mr. Ivan Buchanan. Now, Mr. Buchanan, as I said, he was a founding member. Way back in 1983, he was one of the persons very close to the government, as we are aware that he's a former Speaker of the House of Assembly. And when we were going towards independence, there was a set of guys who came down, as I say, from Texas, wanted to do an investment. They were thinking about agriculture because they heard of the fertile soil of St. Kitts. And driving around St. Kitts, Mr. Buchanan, I think, was one of the persons who they spoke to. And then, to the best of my knowledge, also told that the Prime Minister, or the Premier then, who was Dr. Kennedy Simmons, indicated that how nice it would be to view the independence ceremony live on TV. And I think that is where the birth of the cable actually started. So, just a little history, and that is the reason why I think I need to indicate to the persons present and those who are listening and viewing of the importance of people like Mr. Buchanan. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, as we're aware, the cable celebrated 35 years, the same day as our country, on the 19th of September last. So, after 35 years, there are some persons who actually is still around, like Mr. Val Brown, who was actually thank you, Val. Was actually one of the technicians who formerly worked for ZIZ, I think at the time, and then was asked to come and work for the cable. And he's still around after 35 years. I think that deserves another round of applause. Val is also one of the key persons to what's happening today as the head of the technical department. Right? Val is here and he's making certain that the cable would be here for a long time. As the head of that department, he oversees what's happening. But he could not do it all alone because he have other persons like the consultants who are here with us. From Seismic, we have Colin Norford. Should I say senior or Colin Norford Senior? Because I think there are two Colin Norfords within the company. Okay? So Colin, you have persons like Trevor, Mark, etc., etc. I could go on naming a whole list of the technical staff. The guys are also out in the field. The technicians, are in the ones who do the connections and so on. But also, what's happening today is also as a combination of the work that has been done. And I don't know how else to say it, but just to say thanks to the CEO. Because this company, as we are aware, have seen a change, almost 180-degree turnaround in the way in which we do business. Even the older staff, they would tell you that they're seeing and they're feeling the change. There are some members of staff who would have said to me that I look forward to coming to work. Before, they just came out to work. They did a job and they can't wait to go home. But now, there are some members of staff, even after work, they still do not want to leave because they want to finish their task. So, in my opinion, that says a lot about leadership. Because if you can't lead from in front and do the things that you're supposed to do, nobody is going to follow you. You have to lead by example. And I must say, there are other persons who has been involved. There's legal advice, which we have had sought on several occasions. And the person who have helped with some of the negotiations, I think I need to make mention. I don't think most of us here know that individual. She's not from St. Kitts, but to my knowledge, is one of the better content providers, negotiators in the region as a lawyer. Then that person in the name of Lisa Agard. She's also from Trinidad, and she worked very close with Seismic also. And she have also worked with Ms. Walters before. All right. So, again, I must say, another person which has been in the ranks of support and making certain that this goes the way in which we want it to go is Mr. Adrian Lamb. He's not here this morning, but as the deputy chair, he has played a very pivotal role in some of the negotiations, the discussions, and the way in which we should go forward. I actually just realized I did something which is a no-no. My humblest apologies, Mr. Minister. I did not acknowledge the head table. You know, you get carried away sometimes when certain things happen. So, Mr. Minister, Honorable Vincent Byron Jr., I would like to use this opportunity to welcome you to this launch, and also the rest of the head table, which is Bibiana and Madam CEO and Madam Chair. Again, the rest of the audience, my apologies, and we look forward to a great launch as we now see everything is going ultra, and we would make that happen with your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Heiliger. Thank you for that perspective that you gave some of us who were not really privy to the fact that the birth of this company coincided actually with the birth of our nation. And I don't know if it was fortuitous or just coincidental, but I would have liked to have been part of a company that has that history. And so thank you very much for sharing that information and for bringing us to our current day position now, in a position to change some of the dynamics of what we have known the company to be known for, in particular cable TV. And so I want to now introduce the CEO to make some remarks. But before I do that, I want to jog the minds of some of the media personnel who are in this room, because I remember late last year, she made a promise. And although she's not a politician, she'll probably want to say promise made, promise kept. And I think her response was a direct one to one of the questions that was posed then by one of the media personnel who asked about changing and revamping and reorganizing the cable TV product. And so she made a promise then. I think she had committed to 6 months, and she may have been a little bit off target, but in the give and take that she was only off by a few months, I think the stage that we're at today is a very commendable one, because she's a woman of her word. And I can say that because I've worked with her for over 15 years. And so I want you to help me welcome the CEO, Ms. Patricia Walters, who would share some more information on where we are today and perhaps give us a peek into where we are going. So please help me welcome Ms. Walters as she presents remarks.
Thank you. You can hear me? Okay, yep. Good morning, everybody. Madam Chair, I'm asking if you will allow me to accept the protocol. Thank you. Welcome to everybody. LeBen took a little bit of my thunder because I was going to say I promised 6 months and it took a bit longer. But she already said that, so I did make a promise. Everybody said, what about cable TV? What are we going to do with cable TV? I said, give me 6 months. It's been about 10 months, but that's been for good reason. It's been a tremendous amount of work. And it's taken, as our chairman has said, a whole army of people working together as one team to get to where we are today. We've had our board who supported us all the way through, and we have some of our board members here. Welcome for always supporting us. Of course, the staff of the cable, the public, our customers have kept with us, and they've been waiting. In fact, somebody said to me yesterday, I think it was you, Laverne, said somebody met you and said, well, she said that something else was coming and I'm still waiting, and that was yesterday. So customers remember the promise. Everybody knows that TV, the way that we watch TV, it's completely changed to when we launched 35 and a half, almost 36 years ago. Where we were leading edge in the region, we are not there now. But I can promise you, another promise, that we will be on this journey of transformation. So over the past 35 years, and more importantly, over the past, I would say, 5 to 10 years, the whole entertainment and viewing culture of how people watch entertainment and entertain themselves through TV has completely changed. So any of you who have children here, if you were to ask them what is the guide on the cable TV, do you think they would know? Do you think they watch cable TV? Do you watch cable TV? Everybody now, consumer habits have changed. So it's binge watching, it's watching on demand, it's watching the shows that I want to watch, when I want to watch them, on a platform that I want to watch, so not necessarily the TV, but on mobiles, etc. And we're going in that direction, but we're just not there yet. So today we're going to reveal to you our next step in the journey of getting the Federation to that point. Remember, we're one of only a handful of indigenous local telecommunications company in this region, and I dare say in the world. Most of telecommunications has been swallowed up by the international conglomerates. And the cable, I am proud to say, is one of the few that really belongs to the people of the Federation. We talk about critical infrastructure and we talk about natural assets. And as much as water, as much as electricity, as much as excellent roads is critical infrastructure, in this modern world, telecommunications and particularly internet is critical infrastructure, and we own it. We own the pace of investment. We make decisions on return that's not short term, that is for the benefit of the people, the benefit of foreign inward direct investment, able to enrich the lives of every citizen, and for that, I'm so proud to be a part of the cable. Truly, we're small, but we're Talawa. Our mission statement at the cable is to provide leading-edge telecommunication products and services, which will enrich the lives of our citizens. We have 4 main pillars of that mission statement. One's about our people, our staff. We have employment opportunities. Since I have been here, recruited at least up to 10 new employees. We've had tremendous training. We believe in training and development and upskilling the people in the company. So if you have happy employees, and I believe this strongly, they will have happy customers, because happy employees leads to happy customers, leads to the money. I don't believe it's the other way around. I don't believe you focus on money, 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 cuts, and then customers, and then the employees. It's the other way around. So we've invested a lot in our employees over the past few years, and particularly over the past few months. We believe in investment, so continually investing into our network infrastructure, and we're about to continue a major investment upgrade here in St. Kitts, and you will start to have seen that being witnessed with our double bandwidth for the same price. That could not have been done unless we actually expanded our bandwidth capacity and negotiated on price. So we passed that savings completely back to the general public, and we didn't just put the prices up. Best-in-class customer service, number 3. And I hope some of you have seen the changes in our customer service, seen that our technician turnaround time has been quicker, that we call you more often, we call you to make sure your services are in, we call you if we know there's an outage. We hope you've seen that difference, and there's much more to come on the customer service side. And finally, but not any less important, is making sure that we have a good investment return to our shareholders, who right now is the government. So we are a business at the end of the day, but we want to be a responsible business. We don't want to be a business that just is profit-driven at the expense of everything else. So we want to have excellent customer service, great employees with great development opportunities, giving a decent return to our shareholders. So we are all about the cable, creation of value. The creation of value for money. Our tagline, if you've seen it around, is more where it matters. So we don't just want to give you more, we want to give you more where it matters to you. And this product that we are about to launch today, we're giving you more, tremendous value more where it matters to you. I'm pleased to introduce you now. You changed, no, here we go, to Ultra TV. Ultra TV, everybody's been talking about cable TV, my box don't work, when are you going to change, when are we going to have this, when are we going to have that? This is the first in the journey of Ultra TV. So Ultra TV, what is it? Ultra TV is a one flat tier TV service that everybody will have. Finally, the key message is, there's something better for you. Finally, there's something that works. If you have a box, it will work. If you don't have a box, it will work. We're responding directly to your complaints and pain points. Way back in December, we did market research, and we wanted to hear from hundreds of our TV customers what they wanted from TV. Some of you may have answered some of the questions in the research, but that was the foundation for coming up with what we've come up today in this journey to the ultimate TV product. The existing customers don't have to do anything. If you have a box, it will work. If you don't have a box, it doesn't work. Everybody gets one flat tier. The channel numbers are changing, and you'll have channel guides in your packs, but everybody will receive a letter, every single one of our thousands of customers, with the new channel guide. And that's just the start. It's one flat tier. It's all types of programming. It's family entertainment. It's kids. It's gone viral for the youth. It's music, entertainment, do-it-yourself, everything, and sports, of course. It's an unbeatable package, and when you look at the 75 channels, it's not just lots of free-to-air and music channels. They're solid channels that people in the market research have said that they want. And value, what do we mean by value? Every single person will get more. So, for those customers who are currently on just the basic $37 package, and that's like 15 channels. They pay $37 with VAT, that's $43.29. They will now get 75 channels. They will get 59 channels more. But wait, we realize 37 to 60 is a big jump. So these customers, very fortunate, once they've paid their bill up, when we cut over, they'll stay at $37 for 1 year. Do you not think that deserves a round of applause? Can you imagine $37 for 75 channels? Yep. And they just have to stay up to date with their payments, and they will qualify. Premium Tier 1 now pay $57 plus VAT. They will see 58 channels as an increase, they will get an extra 58 channels for $60. They currently pay $66.69, as you can see on the board, with VAT. They have 17 channels now. They will go to 75. They win. Premium Tier 2 currently pay $87, $101.79 with VAT. From $101, they go down to, or from $87, they go down to $60, and they get 21 more channels. And some of the channels that they would have had that are in Premium 3 are actually in the flat tier when you look at the difference. So Premium Tier 3 would have paid $97. They get an additional those who had to pay for the one extra channel, $107, they go down to $60 and they get 8 more. Existing customers, so 75 channels for $60. We were trying to play around with, what's a nice tagline, 75 for 60. And if you have any ideas, please tell us, because we love a jingle. Yeah, 75 for 60, some kind of jingle. I think that's such a fantastic, unbeatable value proposition that I want people to be saying it often, 75 for 60, everybody knows what that means. So we'll launch into the media today. We actually launched this service on the 1st of August. So on the 1st of August, it cuts over to the 75 channels, but we're letting everybody know now, so people can kind of appreciate what's coming. People that want to pre-sign up can come to our store and sign up, but the service will not be available to new customers until the 1st of August. And between now and then, you'll be receiving letters. We have a new website which will show you if you want if you want to have this product without a box, how to tune your TVs, lots of infomercials to help you. And of course, we have our excellent staff that will come out and help those customers that can't do it for themselves. So we have probably about 10 days before we launch fully, but we wanted to have the opportunity to introduce it beforehand. I remember to St. Kitts, almost 20 years ago in 2000, what to me everybody thought was exceptional value was the dollar bread. Almost 20 years later, we have less than $1 per channel. Do you not think that's awesome? So our channel lineup is full of content for everybody, like I said before, for the whole family. And this is a journey. So this is a continuing journey. It started 35 years ago with our founding members, and it's been growing ever since. And this is just another stage in that journey. Transformation takes time, but we've started. We've started with a re-energized, reinvigorated product. We've also decided to add some subtle changes to the brand, and we've injected more color. 2 new palettes, like the blue and the fuchsia and the purple, all coming in harmony to bring some vibrancy to what we call Ultra TV. We'll be having lots of competitions. We want you to become ultrafied. So we want you to post, whether it's nails or toenails, which you can't see, or hair, or a tie, or a shirt, or a scarf, or glasses, or lipstick. Post on social media, #WatchUltra, and there's some fantastic prizes. There's TVs, there's weekends at the Park Hyatt, and all you have to do is be ultrafied. And so watch this space as we try and turn this nation into Ultra Nation. The road ahead is filled with excitement. I hope you can feel it. There's nothing static in this industry, as I've said before, but we're going to rise to the challenge. We're going to harness the resources that we have here, and we're going to bring all of our people along with us. This is the first in many steps that will ensure that we do not have to play catch-up ever again, but we'll be head-to-head, leading from the front in the future. Today is a very important milestone, as the chairman said, in nearly the 36-year history of this company, and we promise that we'll make all of our stakeholders proud. And you all are stakeholders of the cable, because you all are the people of this great nation. We thank you for your unwavering support through the years, and trust that you can count on us, and we can count on you in the future. So in conclusion, to all our current customers, you have been so patient and so very loyal. And this has not gone unnoticed. And for that, and for this, we would like to just say thank you, sincerely. For those who have drifted, we want to welcome you back home. To our new customers, we welcome you too to the cable family. To my predecessors, Mr. Bill Ewing, who just retired last year, and Mr. Ivan Buchanan. Their contributions to the development of St. Kitts and to this company, the cable, have to be commended. To the unwavering staff of the cable, they're all around the room and they're outside too. My staff, my staff, my staff. Wow, I appreciate you. And you continue to be the foundation of the company. Don't ever forget that. And I hope you never feel any different to that. To the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, we applaud you for your trust and your confidence and support that you continue to demonstrate, because many people thought this was a dead company, I'm sure, including members of our shareholders. But it's not dead. It's very much a phoenix, and it's rising. And we now present you with the first phase of your company's transformation journey, where customers no longer need to have a cable TV box, own a smart TV. You don't have to have internet, so you don't have to pay for internet to see cable, to view television. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Welcome to Ultra TV. Roll the video. mention that in embracing and empowering our own, Ultra TV will be reaching out to local content providers so that we can have our own channel that we can then market to the rest of the region. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walters. I think we have all been moved and stirred and sitting at the edge of our seats, ready to look at Ultra TV. May I raise my hand as one of those loyal cable TV customers? Yes, I am. I never switched. And I don't hope to get a prize for this, but I just thought that I'll go down in that column as one of the loyals. Yes, I am. So thank you very much. That you could make an analogy with the dollar bread and kitchens. I thought that is a hard one to beat, but we'll see. In the fullness of time, we shall see if anybody thinks that the value for this equates to the dollar bread, because we don't give up our dollar bread easily. And I think it would be a hard thing to take a second place, but we shall see. As it relates to millennials, just this morning, CBS carried a story about some research that was done in recent times. And the research is showing that at least the American millennial does not look at cable TV. I wanted to ask if there's any millennial in the room. I am borderline millennial. I am actually borderline millennial, because if you were young in 2000, when the millennium changed, then you are considered a millennial. So I am just borderline millennial. And actually, that was correctly ascribed to me yesterday by my friend Cleone in the corner of the room. So I don't know if there are any other millennials in this room who use the cable TV as their main source of TV. Anybody want to put up their hand or don't want to? Yes? No? Not even you, Cleone? Okay. Anybody else? Or there are no other millennials in this room, no? How about the dinosaurs? Are you stuck to your cable TV? Yes? Well, you see, nobody wants to be aged, so I'm getting no checkers for this. And you know what? You were going to get a prize, you know. There was a prize for Park Hyatt stay. But see, that prize has gone wasted. So thank you very much, Pat. And I've noticed as well that, you know, ever so often, the people, the folks who are responsible for creating words in the dictionary actually adds word to the dictionary ever so often. I think you should try to see if you could get ultrafied in there. I love it. I mean, it's young, it's hip, it's chic. I don't know. I mean, I guess the millennials in the room will have to tell us if it is. It is. And I'm getting a nod in the corner here. So thank you for that. I hope that because this event is being carried live on Facebook, and I know that a couple of our local radio stations are in fact carrying that live feed, that by the time we check later in the day, we would see people responding to Pat's call to action to just show your purple colors, just show something that qualifies it to be ultra-fired. I love it. And so, thank you very much. Thank you for the assurance that the phoenix is rising from the ashes and that you're no longer a dinosaur. I believe that rallying cry would permeate the island, and especially because we are people who are loyal to people who serve us well. And so I want to thank you again, Pat, for your leadership, as has already been mentioned by the chairman. Thank you so much. I'll now make way to the Honorable Vincent Byron, who will present us some more inspiration, I guess, from a government's perspective. And so I want us to welcome him, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson Laverne. And I wondered how I should begin this, and I'll just start what came to me and just say, wow. You know, I think that Pat Walters, CEO at Cable, has just done an earth-shattering announcement to all of us here in St. Kitts as to what we can look forward to in terms of cable TV entertainment, news, the cable as such. I want first, though, to start by recognizing the chairman of the board of directors of the cable, Mr. Othniel Heiliger. And I note that he has given apologies for his deputy chair, Mr. Adrian Lamb, as well as others are missing. But I also want to recognize, I noticed 3 members of the board here with us. Mrs. Merle Liebert Brown, is it? And Joan is here, as well as our new secretary, Mr. Trevor Phipps, is here. I want to recognize the staff of the cable who are well displayed in their wonderful new garments, ultra garments. And I want to recognize in particular Val Brown, who has been here from the beginning, and Judith Hewlett, who is also here as well too. I should recognize as well Mr. Donald Thompson, who is representing the Cable's Bankers National Bank, who is here with us. And I want to recognize the consultant, Seismic Consulting, who has been doing an awesome job with the cable. There's a story behind Seismic and the cable that goes back some time, but I should mention that when we came to office in 2015, that is the Team Unity administration, we had an engagement with Seismic over the state of the cable. And there's a whole story behind that. I see Paul Ferguson nodding his head. Paul is one of the principals along with Richard St. John. They're both here with us. And for those, can't forget Russell Halbert, who is our own Taylor's Range Kitishan, who is here with us as well. And so, finally, of course, the media who have come out to this very important media launch to show that the cable is alive and well, and more than well, and portends well for the future of our telecoms industry here in St. Kitts. Not just telecoms, but because we're here about TV launching, media launch, content launch in terms of entertainment. I think that as Minister responsible for communications, I need to speak a little bit about where the government of St. Kitts and Nevis would want us to be in terms of telecommunications. We have various service providers who serve us very well. And I noted that when CEO Pat spoke earlier, she spoke about questions of public good and critical infrastructure, and I wondered if she was peeping on my notes and my speech, because clearly, as a government, we are very, very interested in terms of how we approach the question of sustainable development, sustainable economic development of our country. And the whole question of critical infrastructure, a public good. And when I say critical infrastructure, or Pat says critical infrastructure, we speak about things like electricity, we talk about water, we talk about the road network, which are things that any society today, a modern society, cannot do without. But more and more today, or clearly today, the question of broadband, the internet, is also critical infrastructure. It's a public good. Imagine when the internet goes down, you can't get WhatsApp, you can't send an email, you can't, you're lost. And in some cases, the broadband to a lot of people may be more important today than electricity or something of that nature. So the critical infrastructure, the internet, is perhaps very, very important, right at the top of the list. And so we want to salute the cable, who some 20 years ago introduced an internet network, a broadband network around St. Kitts and Nevis, where they deployed fiber, optic fiber cables that serve our country well. I hope I don't steal Pat thunder when we have a follow-up to this launch by saying that part of the overall strategy, overarching strategy of the cable is to ensure that this country has the best internet network anywhere in this region. And over the next 12 months, we look forward to the upgrade of that network where broadband at speeds, unbelievable speeds, could be had anywhere in this country. And that is a goal that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis endorses, where we would expect over the next 18 to 24 months, 36 months, that every household in this country connected to the internet would be connected by fiber. Fiber to the home is an ultimate goal. So that once you do that, no more spooling, no more dropping, that we would have, for the first time in this region, every household connected via the broadband internet. In the Western Hemisphere, we would be out there. I'll tell you that I've been very proud, and all of us should be very proud, that in 2016, St. Kitts and Nevis was regarded as the most dynamic country in the world out of 175 countries worldwide. St. Kitts and Nevis copped 2 awards out of 3 at the International Telecommunications Union's Index Ranking Award ceremony in Botswana in Africa. And I had the privilege, the honor to represent the country to receive 2 of the 3 awards being awarded. Only South Korea got another award at that time. For the investments that had been done in 2015 and 2016, we jumped from being 54th ranked in the world to number 34. Only the United States and Canada in the Western Hemisphere were ahead of St. Kitts and Nevis. We pushed Barbados, who had been the perennial leader, into second place behind us at number 35. And we intend and expect to maintain our dominance in terms of the whole question of broadband networking, ICT development. Now, the cable is a leading proponent of the internet, the broadband. You see the signs all over town where you get more where it matters. And for that, you would notice for the most of this year, they've been advertising that they've doubled bandwidth for the same price, without paying a penny more. You don't even notice it because the cable right now is a reliable internet provider that you can rely on. And the government would want to stand behind that position. The whole concept of the cable is very interesting over the last 3 to 4 years. We have heard from Chairman Othniel Heiliger how it started way back in the early 1980s. And for the most part, we all saw that the founder, one of the founders, pioneer, Bill Ewan, managed the cable over the next 30, 35 years. And we need to pay tribute to Mr. Ewan for last year, after many years of service to St. Kitts, he retired and has severed his relationship with the cable. The government was able to arrange to the SIDF to purchase Mr. Ewan's shares, and we have parted company with him. And as Mr. Ewan left, we determined that we had to have a successor, a transition period where we would make sure that the cable did not just go down into the ashes and disappear, but like a phoenix, should rise from those ashes. And while we had been doing work with Seismic Consulting, we also did some work with other consultants in the region. And through the work of Deloitte Touche, we embarked on a worldwide search for a new CEO. 147 people from as far as Australia applied to be the new CEO. We got people from North America and from all over. And after a rigorous process of elimination, none other than Ms. Patricia Walters emerged as the leading person to take the cable forward. Pat is no stranger to St. Kitts Nevis. She grew up in England and is a highly trained professional. She holds many professional accreditations and degrees. And she came to St. Kitts at the start of the millennium and worked with Cable and Wireless for many years, not just here in St. Kitts, but in the wider region. She knows local conditions. She understands the telecoms business, not only in St. Kitts, but in this region, and has been a stalwart. When we engaged Patricia Walters last September, she set up very clearly defined objectives that she would take, where she would want to take the cable forward. And she has been, to a word, little by little, transforming this company into something that we all can be proud of in terms of improving staff relations, making people want to come to work, feeling good about their jobs, working together, and understanding that they had an objective to work towards. She has been doing exceptionally great service, and those of us who visit the cable building, you see a different type of bounce in the step of the workers and the way in which they respond to queries and so forth. And we want to thank Pat and the staff that she has attracted around her, Bibiana Henry and others, who have been working to transform the way in which we see customer service at the cable. Not only has it been in terms of customer service, but there needs and has needed to be significant upgrades. And one of the areas where we had fallen behind over the years had been in terms of TV content and TV production. For many years, we had a situation where people could not get their boxes fixed. They couldn't get them repaired. You could not get a new box because nowhere in the world did they make the parts for these boxes anymore. That become obsolete. And so Ultra TV, as we are now seeing it, fixing a very critical problem, Pat and her team has come up to make it no longer necessary to have a TV box. Anyone, any new customer, anyone can now have full service TV in your home without having these boxes that were, we used the word earlier, had become dinosaurs. And so we are happy that this Ultra new service does that. But I want to say that not just is it going to be the same as we have had before, or better now, but we expect as the Pat and the team continue to work, that we move from analog TV to digital TV, that we will be getting even better and better service as we move forward. It's going to be good. 75 channels for $60. If you have basic, right now you have what, 15 channels for $37. 75 channels for $37. Wow. This is remarkable, and I don't think you can get a better bargain anywhere in the Caribbean than this. This is transformation at work, and we are proud to be associated with and give support to Pat and her team. It is part of what we in government want to see for the whole business of ICTs in our country. The government this year has commissioned a digital transformation strategy in our country. And we are well on the way to preparing such a report that should be ready any time now. Whether it's going to be in government or the wider society, we should be able to find that citizens of our country get improved service in any field that you're involved in any endeavor that you do. We will work very hard in government to ensure that there's this transformation. Imagine today, if you want to get a passport, what you have to do. You have to go to the post office to get a $3 stamp. Then you have to walk up to Connell Street to the health center to get a birth certificate. When you're finished, you have to go back to the post office for a $10 stamp. You have to walk up to the police station and maybe go up 3 flights of stairs to get a police record. When you're finished with that, you have to walk to government headquarters with $150 stamps to get a passport application. And you're told, come back in a week, 2 weeks. But you could get it in 24 hours for another $100 in stamps. We believe that our citizens should be able to apply online and get a passport same day. And so the idea of transforming ways in which the public service serves citizens, we are embarking on a full service transformation to employ ICTs to transform the way how we live. More and more businesses and some government agencies allow you to pay fees, taxes online. But more and more we expect that we will have secure payment portals for you to transmit and do your business easier, make it more convenient for us in this country to live and to operate. So a digital transformation service will be taking place over the next couple of years in our country, where we expect that our services will be delivered efficiently. Improvements will be happening across the board in terms of our digital transformation service. In terms of some of the other things we do, very quickly, the ICT Center, our National ICT Center, where our Department of Technology is housed, is currently embarked on preparing to introduce an internet exchange point. An internet exchange point. Imagine that you are in a business or in an office where you may have 2 different providers engaged in the internet, and you want to send an email to somebody in the next room. That transmission goes off island to Miami and comes back on island. Why can't we just have an internet exchange point here on the island? It improves speed, it gives more efficiency, and also security. And so over the next few weeks, we will be establishing an internet exchange point where our different service providers, the Central Bank, Ross University, others who have their own special networks can all be attached to this exchange point that makes the whole process of doing business in St. Kitts and Nevis easier. This is one of the things that we do. We are currently working on improving information security, where our technicians, our different people at the center are being certified in ISO 27000 to be able to be certified in terms of information security. It is critical as we move forward to implement data protection legislation that is required across our country and so forth. That's another thing that we're very proud of. And the number of other things that are happening in the ICT field. And of course, as we look forward, we want to make sure that all that we do allows us to be better prepared to attract foreign direct investors in all sorts of fields that can reside here and work here and make our societies better and more protected. Again, I would want to applaud the work done by Pat Walters and her team to introduce this very welcome innovation in terms of content provision for all users of cable TV. In St. Kitts, we wish the cable well. We will continue to give support to the cable, and we wish that at the end of the day, you get a lot of new customers and everybody will be happy. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Minister Byron, for endorsing the solid work of the cable team and, by extension, this new product that is being launched today, and for using the opportunity to share some of your government's plan with us along the lines of technology. Thank you so much. We certainly look forward to the rollout of the digital transformation strategy. And ultimately, we know that our people would benefit from all of these strategies and programs in the future. Thank you so much. So this is a media launch, and I hope that the media has been taking copious notes and are now ready to ask us some questions. We are relying on you very strongly to relay the information in a usable manner to your respective constituents. And so we know that you'll put yourself in the shoes of these very constituents and ask us the question that they would likely want to know. And so we are going to ask our media team on my right here to get some microphones ready so that we can have the media ask the question and address them to the head table, members of the head table. And we would see how much of it we can cover in this forum. So thank you very much. All we ask of you is that when you stand, you give us your name and tell us the media house that you represent before you begin to ask your question. Thank you so very much. And I see Precious from the Labour spokesman is signaling to start the ball rolling.
Good morning, everybody. Precious Mills from the Labour Spokesman newspaper. My first question is, what should customers expect during the transition period? Would there be any disruption in service or any other technical issues related? Number two, from the market research carried out, where customers asked specifically what channels they wanted. Third question, seeing that Ultra TV would work with or without the TV box. If customers choose to put away their box, should they be returned to the cable? And my last question is, who is the largest group of consumers for the cable, and are there any specific target groups at this time? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions. I think I've got them all. What should customers expect on the transition? So it's an excellent question. On the 29th of this month, we'll start cutting over some of the new channels. And so it will be done on the 29th. So on the 29th, there may be some channels going in and out, but by the end of the 29th, 66 of the 75 channels should be up by the end of the 29th. So by the 1st, everybody should have those first 66. On the flyer, on the back, it highlights those channels that we're still tuning with new satellites, and they will be available, we've said by September, but we hope well before that. so that all 75 will be available by September. For the odd customer, those that don't have the boxes, we may have to assist them in retuning the channels on their TV, but most young people know how to tune in channels on their TV, so we're hoping that there shouldn't be too much of an issue, but if ever there is, just call the office and we'll schedule for a technician to come out and assist. The second one was, of course the customers told us which channels they wanted, but I can't really tell you, right? Because that's our market research. What I can say though, is that we use that as the basis for the lineup here. So it's very heavily weighted on the lineup here. And I'll be very honest and transparent that movies was a big part of that channel lineup. And so we're working to come forward with a movie pack in the near future. The third question was, what do you do with the box? We don't want anybody to do anything with the boxes just yet, because we want them to wait until all of the channels are on, all 75 channels, and then as we visit, for whatever reason, whether it's to put new outlets in rooms or to provide internet, we will take the boxes back. And the fourth one was the target market. When we did the survey, we had a really wide spread of target audience. The millennials, not so much, but children, absolutely, and family, and then not dinosaurs, but people that prefer some of the more traditional programming. And so the lineup is very relatable to the entire kind of spectrum of target audience. As we kind of progress through this journey and we get cleverer with our business intelligence on who's watching what when, we'll be able to tweak it slightly. But we think we have a really solid lineup that will appeal to all segments of the market that watch our cable TV. Thank you.
Good morning, German Abel, Win FM. I have a few questions, beginning with in terms of going back to the question with regards to channel selection, looking at the list of what was provided, what went into selecting what specific channels you guys would be providing to the consumers in light of your competitors basically owning most or majority of the existing channels already, the mainstream channels, that being Flow. Current customer, what's the customer base like in terms of how many customers currently in the cables, under the cables purview? You're basically rolling out this service within a couple of weeks. Expected to be technical glitches and so forth in the system. Is there anything, because as it stands right now, there's no weekend assistance for persons, whether it be internet or television. Is that something that the cable is considering going forward? Because if, for example, German's internet goes out or his TV goes out on Friday, he has to wait until Monday. And added to that, there's no sort of redress within the system when that happens. Two final questions. One, what's the cost of the upgrade to this new system, as well as there's a reoccurring problem with the internet service? I know you guys said you upgraded, you're providing double the internet speed, but consumers around the country, customers around the country are not really seeing a lot of that upgrade. If you can just speak to that.
Thank you very much. Excellent questions. The first one, what is the criteria for the channel selection? There's three basic criteria that we used. So one was the direct input from the market research as to what customers wanted. Number two was what is legally available and licensed for this region. So some of the programs that customers may have wanted, we cannot show because it's not legally licensed in this region to show. And then number three was affordability. So some of the programming that was available really was just priced for markets not at this level. So it would be too much to pass on to the consumers. Having said all of that, though, we believe we have an excellent channel lineup, rich with content. And what we have in our one flat tier, you'll see, is in the kind of second, third, and fourth tiers of our competitors. You said something about our competitor owning most of the channels. They don't own most of the channels. They've gone into exclusive arrangements with certain programs on channels. And for some of those channels, we are blocked because they've bought those exclusive rights. Where they haven't bought the exclusive rights, we show those channels. How many customers you said? That's very confidential, commercial information, but what I can tell you is we are by far the dominant provider of TV, licensed TV providers here in St. Kitts. And I would go as far as to say we would be in, I would say, most of the homes. Number 3, weekend service. We do provide weekend service. We have a call-out number, and we have technicians on call in the evenings and at weekends. So perhaps from your question, what I need to do is perhaps just promote that number more. But we have our technicians out all the time. Is there another question? The cost of the upgrade? You asked a question on the cost of the upgrade. That too, unfortunately, is commercially sensitive. But I think, you know, if I would dare to say, I'd like my customers to think more about the value and to know that we are out providing value to you, and that's our focus as to kind of how much that's costing. So the internet speed, so that's a very interesting perspective. We get calls in that I personally monitor every day and look at what's happening with our internet service. And anybody that does have a problem, we're out there to fix it. If you know of anybody that has a problem, please, I'm open. Feel free to come to me directly. I'm not aware that we have a problem, a repeating problem. Yes, there's glitches and sometimes it's down, but not continuously. I see a look of disbelief on your face, but we can have a chat later.
Good morning, Carla Berry, ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation. A couple of questions. You mentioned that the cable plans to provide opportunities for locals to give content. What is the plan for that? Has there been any plans so far, and how would that work? As it stands, persons like to be able to record or look at things when they can. What's the cable's plan for on-demand? When can persons expect that as well? There are traditional channels that persons know. 11 is USA, 8 is CNN, but you plan to change that. Why did you decide to change that, and how do you intend to get persons more on board with that? And finally, $75 for $60, but this is exclusive. So what is the actual price with the VAT included?
Thank you. So local content is in our plans, and we've actually reserved a channel for local content. We need to put a whole process in to make sure, though, that the local content doesn't become kind of stale, so that we always have fresh local content. And it can be an extremely expensive venture with lots of production costs. And so we're working to come up with a roadmap to make it successful for local entrepreneurs that want to provide local content. We hope by the time we launch, and this is to your next question, our full-fledged TV service, which will be elements of over the top, and by over the top, that's things like video on demand, pause, rewind, IPTV, that we are migrating to in the next 12 to 18 months. So this is, as I said earlier, an interim step. So the one tier provides our customers with great value with a mixture of channels while we roll out our fiber network more intensively and then put TV on top of that. So when we have that in place, we want to work with not just one, but a consortium of local entrepreneurs to share a channel, so we have just local content. Yep. So the channel lineup, we have printed a flyer for every single one of our customers, which will be posted out to them with the new channels on. It will be on social media, it will be on the website, it will be at the office, and we want to distribute those flyers elsewhere, so that over time customers can get accustomed to what used to be on what channel. For some of the more popular ones, we will do some mapping, so we'll say it used to be here, it's now there, so that they can look at that easily, but every single person and every single household should have a flyer. And the cost with VAT is $70.20. Thank you.
Good morning. Val Thomas, Sugar City FM. As you know that 95% of folks in our federation and around the world carry a cellular phone. And I know that there's a website for cable that we can go to on our phones. Is there any plans to be able to bring your programs on a cellular phone?
That's an excellent question, Balti. So we do have a website. We have thecable.net, which is our existing website. We have a new website for Ultra TV, which is watchultratv.com. And online on your phone, you can surf on the internet and go to any of those websites. Seeing programming on your phone, we will be shortly introducing sports programming on the go on your phone. And as we roll out to the full TV product, the full digital IPTV product in the next 12 to 18 months, you'll be able to watch on any handset device that you want. Thank you.
Just a quick follow-up. German Abel, WinFM. What assurances can you give to the public that a lot of these channels would not be dropping out as was the case previously in years gone by?
Sorry, just a clarification. What do you mean by dropping out?
Years gone by, let's say, for example, Channel 5 was TNT. TNT no longer exists on Channel 5. We will get Sci-Fi, or we will get ABC, and those stations no longer existed, whether or not it be on Channel 5, Channel 6. It generally dropped out of the system itself. What assurances can you give to the public that I'm paying $60 for this entire package and I'm seeing ABC, and I would not see 6 months from now, from the launch of this product, that ABC would not be dropping out and another station, another channel will actually be filling that gap?
That's a great question. We have spent, like we said, 10 months of negotiations with the content providers. And the channels that we have now agreed to and signed contracts for are in the channel lineup. And unless there's a tremendous, I would say, customer pushback, the channels that they really don't want to see or prefer, the channel lineup will be exactly as it is now. The only difference will be where another provider, licensed provider, has bought exclusive rights, and we are forced to block certain shows from that channel.
Just a quick clarification. In terms of the price structure, so if somebody has tier 1, 2, and 3, are they also going to be dropping down to the $60 based on that, or if you could just give us a little clarification on that for me? Thanks.
So the new Ultra TV package is the only package. So whatever tiers you were on before, everybody goes to the flat $60. Unless everybody goes to the flat $60 package, except if you were basic at 37, you stay there for 12 months. If you have the Max Pack package, which is the bolt-on, you will continue to pay the bolt-on. But everything else, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and the super premiums goes to the 1 tier.
So the existing channels, let's say in tier 3, if German wants those channels, would all those channels still be available under the new Ultra TV package?
A lot of the channels in tier 3 are in the channel lineup. If you have a look at the channel lineup, they're in the channel lineup. But there is only one package now, the Ultra. There's no more tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4.
Okay, so if Mr. Abel decides he wants, whether it be a Sports Max package or so forth, I'm not seeing it here
So
per
Sports
se.
Max is the only one that you can add on as a bolt-on. Everything else is in the flat tier. Yeah.
Right.
So if you look at in your pack, in your press pack, you'll see the old channel guide. You'll see the old channel guide, and if you look through tier 2 and tier 3, and some of tier 4, you'll see a lot of them are actually in the lineup for the flat tier.
Yeah?
Just one final question. In terms of, because now that you're basically bringing everybody under one package, how is the company going to offset the revenues being lost by bringing everybody into the $60 package?
So we've priced it so that the TV service pays for itself. And like we said, we want to make sure everybody has access to TV in each of their rooms without the problems of the box. And so this was our way to come up with satisfy, number one, from the market research, what customers wanted. Number two, getting rid of the problem with not being able to see TV because you didn't have a box. And number three, giving excellent value for your money.
Hi, Giles Dickinson from Island Films. The other competitors, which you haven't cleared, that if you wanted to look at a particular movie, the other channels are charging you like $4.95 for a movie or those sort of things. That would not be happening to us on cable TV, right?
Under this package now, everything for the 75 channels is $60 plus VAT. There's the add-on of the sports pack 1 and 2, which was always there before, that still exists, but there's no other charges for TV content.
Are there any more questions? No? Thank you very much for the engagement here. And of course, the friendly doors of the cable are always open. If you can walk in anytime or call them or text them to let you, to make clear of any other concerns that you may have post this event. And before I call Bibiana to bring the vote of thanks, just to say very quickly concerning the color, and I probably can now put on my image consultancy hat, that purple really is the color of royalty. Purple is a rich color. And so if we could translate that into a customer service scenario, I think I would be correct in saying that from henceforth, the customers of Ultra TV would be treated like royalty. Am I correct? Should I expect that?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And you shall pay no royalty for that. I now want to ask Bibiana to come and move a vote of thanks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I too will adopt the protocol that was established by our chairperson. I couldn't help but try to think of a word to describe Lavern's last statement there. Shall we call it ultra amazing? That whole thing about that purple color? Wow, that was good, Laverne. Mr. Minister, in our new ultra world, we would call your remarks ultra inspiring. And I'm glad that you have caught on, because I heard you mention during your remarks a couple of ultra things. So yes, this is our new ultra world. And so we thank you for highlighting to us the government's vision and objectives for our communications sector. Thank you for the government's commitment in ensuring that every household in the country is connected to the internet and at an affordable price. Thank you, too, for your commitment in ensuring that we will maintain our lead in the telecoms industry through, in your words, critical investment for the public good within a framework of sustainable ICT development. Thank you, too, for giving us a glimpse into the journey your administration has embarked on to digitally transform the delivery of our key services. For your support, for your amazing support in enabling the cable to be at the forefront of this thrust, we say a big thank you. As employees, as homeowners, and citizens of this country, we look forward to the enhancements that this transformation will make in our lives. Mr. Chairman, one of the things I always appreciate about you when you are called to give any remarks is your humble recognition of those whose shoulders our achievement and success lie. Thank you for that, and thank you, too, for pointing out that Ultra TV is truly a testament of the sum total of clear vision, hard work, solid leadership, and the ultra-nominal support of a cadre of partnerships and supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, our CEO, don't be seduced by her charm. She is charming. She is one tough driver that oftentimes leaves her staff and the people around her panting for breath. Can I get a hand, Laverne? But guess what? It is that must-win formula, that honesty and tremendous confidence that has allowed us to build the framework that we have today that will continue to undergird our success. She clearly elucidated this morning her simple recipe for success: happy employees, happy customers, wise investment equals healthy return on investment. She highlighted the key features of our new Ultra TV service: affordability, great value, vibrancy. She also explained the vision for the cable and how we have gone on to demonstrate how a small, local, indigenous company continues to make the impossible achievable. Thank you, Pat, for your generosity. Thank you for your thoughtful leadership. Thank you for being at the forefront of birthing our Ultra TV service. I'm certain that I'm not the only one in this room who believes that you are a woman made for this time, made for this season. Thank you, thank you. Team Open Interactive, for all that you did for this launch, and for all that you continue to do to make events such as these so very special for us, thank you so much. To my fellow employees and the other support teams, Paul, Richard, Norman, Russell, Steve and Holly, today would not be possible without you. Thank you all. Thank you, Laverne. I sat there and tried to come up with the appropriate words to describe what you have done for us. And all I could think of was, thank you for coordinating and for chairing this event for us. For you, the members of the media, this is your event. A heartfelt thank you for so readily accepting our invitation to be the windows and doors through which the details of Ultra TV will first be disseminated to our general public. Thank you. We hope to see you again at our store event on August 2nd. It's a Friday on Keon Street. It'll be one of those ultra-terrific moments that you will not want to miss. So see you there. Finally, allow me a moment or two to thank God Almighty for what He continues to do in the life of the cable. Thank you, Colin, for your words of prayer. We will continue to lean on Him for His wisdom and for His guidance as we forge along this journey. Thank you all for sharing this moment with us. Thank you and thank you.
And thank you too, Bibiana. I often wonder if you should thank the person who moved the vote of thanks. But we appreciate your kind words, all of us. And we have some refreshments that are on the right, my right, your left. And we hope that you'll indulge us for maybe another 10, 20 minutes. If anybody was shy to ask a question, this is a good time to network and ask the question privately. But we certainly wouldn't want you to leave without we have a moment to thank you personally and privately. So do indulge us. Thank you, and have a great balance of the day.